Hey, Kimberly, lovely to speak with you again.
Hi, Tom. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem at all. I'm sure most people in the e-com sector will already know yourself or be aware of yourself, but for those who don't, do you mind just giving us a brief introduction as to who you are and a bit about your background?
Sure. Hi, I'm Kimberly Thomas. You may know me as Magento Girl on Twitter. I coined my Twitter name when I first went to meet to Magento Imagine, the first one. And I've been working with Magento for over 15 years since version 1.0. I started out as a technical architect and I've been a developer on many implementations. I even had my own agencies and I landed myself at Magento, the mothership, where I worked in professional services until we were purchased by Adobe. And I joined the Adobe services team where I led our entire services for Adobe Commerce in Americas.
Amazing. So really rich background there, and I know I'm obviously wearing my Meet Magento top from the UK here. So I went down, obviously JH and Jamie Huskinson there organised that. So yeah, I got my merchandise from Meet Magento. I hadn't been to the Florida or New York ones yet. You went yourself, did you?
Yeah, actually, I started Meet Magento in the United States with Meet Magento New York. I think it was 2014. So I organized that conference with Ignacio Riesco from Interactive 4. And we really brought that whole Meet Magento conference to the United States. And I will be the MC of the technical track for Meet Magento Florida, which is happening at the end of this month, January 31st. So please join us down at Meet Magento Florida.
Amazing. Yeah, I've heard really good things about Meet Magento Florida as well. I can't get there myself this year. I've been having a couple of issues with the doctors. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to attend, but from what I've heard, it's an amazing event as well. I know the UK one was incredible. So yeah, really looking forward to that one as well and seeing who goes. Obviously you're a really experienced leader in the Adobe world and in, I suppose, e-com in general. So I wanted to pick your brains. I know 2023 was a tough year, globally for tech. What trends do you see digital agencies adopting across 2024?
Well, definitely over 2023 going into 24, I see people diversifying. We used to be hardcore 100% work on Magento only projects, but there's a lot more platforms out there now and SaaS solutions. So I definitely see agencies diversifying, working on different commerce platforms, as well as the different partners that they're working with, because there is more of a focus on that customer experience side of things that we saw in 23 and going into 24. And with AI, everyone's also kind of wrapping that into, and they want to do personalization. Everybody wants to predict intent so that they can, hopefully increase their sales. So definitely, that focus on customer experience and diversifying platforms. And then the third one is doing more with less. How can you improve not only your internal processes, but also how can you improve your website experience, which one of the number one ways is by your page load time, decreasing that and improving your site performance, which is something that, I've done a lot in my career, especially at Magento and Adobe with health checks. But yeah, doing more with less is definitely like one of my passions as a problem solver.
Amazing. No, I think that makes so much sense. Obviously, I'm not a really heavy tech person myself. I can understand what businesses want and find them the right people for that. And I think what you've just touched on there is, so many people are saying that in terms of it's going to be a tough year, and really, I suppose, simplifying and doing more with less, as you say, is so important. Those page loading times and improving user experience. Yeah, really good points. So thank you for that. we're obviously at the back end of Christmas now and starting a new year. So sort of Black Friday and Cyber Monday fresh in our minds. Did you notice anything surprising or noteworthy given the Black Friday and Cyber Monday and I suppose Christmas results as well?
I mean, I just think it was, for me, it was surprising that it was just continuing to grow exponentially and that it was such a great year for everybody, which is fantastic. But I think I even posted on social media, like, if this is what's happening, then why are we still having massive layoffs in tech and commerce? So I'm hoping that that's behind us in 23. I've seen a couple really good reports about 2024, being the time for like the indie industry and consulting. And I don't see any reason like why that shouldn't be true. So really looking forward to 2024.
Yeah, I agree. It was so, I think, startling, to see the figures that came out of Black Friday and Cyber Monday
Yeah.
compared to, the amount of times we've heard not hiring or layoffs. As you know, it's been rife through 2023. So that was, I think, definitely surprised myself as well. I think some companies definitely benefited from some amazing marketing as well around sort of Black Friday. And there were those that I think really didn't make the most of what it was. You could see they weren't quite prepared and didn't leverage what could have made it really successful for them. And I think those companies, really stood out to me at that point. But it was so exciting to see those figures, I think, given the year that we had. So yeah, again, thank you for that one. Really good insights there. You're obviously, an experienced leader and voice in tech. What do you think is going to be important in both, I suppose, the current job market and also in terms of businesses being successful in 2024?
Something that I've always done and has always helped with my success is networking and connections. And in fact, like that's kind of how we even met. I think that like we just met over like a chance message over LinkedIn that you sent to me and I replied back, and we had a lot of connections in common, which heightened my trust for you, and has just always been a part of my story since the beginning when I started going to conferences. And the Magento community was always really big on Twitter, and we used that platform to get to know each other and to share information and to really bond. And we became the Magento community leaders, which then evolved into like the more established master's program. And, just so many great people that I've gotten to know around the entire world and at different organizations. So I think that networking and really making like authentic connections with people is the key.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, just to touch on a couple of those points, I mean, definitely networking, like you say. I mean, thank you for mentioning the trust as well. That's really nice as well. Yeah, it's been, lovely working with you for all this time. And I think networking is so overlooked and so important now. LinkedIn is rife with job opportunities and people who are hiring. And I think even connections that you can make in the industry and just having a positive impact on people goes such a long way. People will remember, good people. And I think using your network and leveraging that and saying, okay, do you know anyone is always, advice and recommendations are always, I think, more than just a CV. There's always a person behind that. I also think, I know you mentioned the community as well. I can only speak from the time I had at JH, but I actually put a post out after Meet Magento UK, which was "This community is everything." Obviously, it's such a small world, I think, in that space, and that community and what those guys have built up and what everyone in the Magento community has built over the years really comes to the fore at those sorts of events where people are just, letting their hair down, the guards down, and everyone's just talking about the amazing things that are going on in the space. And I was really impressed with that. And I think, again, a really valid point that you mentioned there is that community spirit. Everyone sort of weirdly knows each other as well, as I'm sure you know.
We've all worked with each other at some point, and like it's a joke, like the 6 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon. Like there's 6 degrees of separation in the Magento community. It's pretty close, a tight-knit family.
Definitely. Yeah, I love that. And I think obviously we've spoke to both people that I know you recommended people that I reach out to, as well. So it's always really nice. And that 6 degrees is yeah, really funny, I think, as well. What are your plans then, I suppose, going through, from the new year into 2024? What's on the horizon for yourself?
I'm definitely looking for a new opportunity. I'd love to join a company in the leadership role and looking for a new challenge. I love solving problems and I love helping to define process and doing more with less and improving any processes and methodologies that are there, making sure you're following best practices. A big part of what I've done at Magento and Adobe, and I'm looking to spread my wings.
Amazing. I mean, yeah, I know obviously you came highly recommended from there, and I think any team would be lucky to snap you up in this market. Really good to hear. I mean, as well, I think it's important that you are keeping your eyes open for the right opportunity. I think when people ask, why are you looking for a job? I mean, ultimately, we all need to work, but I think finding a job that not only aligns with your values and your culture and what you can offer, but also that meets, what you can bring to the business from a technical and level as well. That's so important to consider. So, yeah, obviously, any companies that are looking, I know that you're obviously on the lookout for something yourself. So I'm hoping that you can find something soon. And I'm sure someone will be really lucky to have you on board.
Thank you so much, Tom.
No worries. No problem. It's much deserved. I don't just plaster words about. Like I say, you've come highly recommended through people I know as well. So that's always, as we mentioned earlier, referrals are always everything. I'm hoping to catch you at a Magento event sometime as well. That'd be great to actually catch you in person when the doctor gives me sign off to fly again, or if you're ever in the UK at Meet Magento London or something, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm really looking at my calendar for like all of 2024. Right now, I'm just January. So I'm going to start working on planning the rest. So we'll have to work on that, Tom.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. My plans so far are to burn off some of the mince pies I've eaten as well in Jan. So yeah. Listen, I know you're busy, Kimberly, so I really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And best of luck with 2024 as well.
All right. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks, Kimberly. Take care.